What can wars from the past teach you about survival today? More than you think. Because when you strip away the weapons, the politics and the uniforms, what remains is something timeless. Men under pressure, forced to survive with limited resources, constant danger and uncertainty. And history has already shown us again and again what works and what gets people killed. In this video, we're breaking down powerful survival lessons from historical conflicts. Lessons forged in real conditions, tested under extreme pressure, and still just as relevant today. Lesson 1. Adapt or die. One of the most consistent lessons across all conflicts is actually pretty simple. Those who adapt survive. Those who don't, well, they just don't. In every environment, jungles, deserts, frozen landscapes, conditions change constantly. The men who made it adjusted their tactics, changed their routines, and learned from mistakes quickly. They didn't cling to one method. They stayed flexible. Adaptability is survival. Lesson 2. Logistics wins more than strength. You might think survival depends on toughness or bravery, but history shows something different. Supply matters more than strength. Food, water, clothing, tools. Without these, even the strongest men fail. Those who survived managed resources carefully, avoided waste, and planned ahead. Running out of supplies is honestly one of the fastest ways to lose control. Lesson 3. Simplicity works under pressure. Complicated plans often fail in chaotic situations. In high-stress environments, people forget details and communication breaks down. Conditions change really rapidly. Simple systems work best. Clear actions, basic plans, straightforward thinking. Because when things get difficult, simple is reliable. Lesson 4. Discipline keeps you alive. Now, discipline isn't just about following rules. It's really about staying alert, maintaining routines, and, well, doing things the right way, even when you're tired. In historical conflicts, small lapses in discipline led to exposure, mistakes, and even capture. But those who were disciplined, they stayed consistent, followed procedures, and avoided unnecessary risks. Discipline, in the end, reduces errors. Lesson 5. Awareness is your first line of defense. Situational awareness has always been critical. Those who survived, they paid attention to movement, sounds, and any changes in their environment. They didn't move blindly. They observed first, then acted. Awareness gives you time, and time, well, it gives you options. Lesson 6. Movement must be controlled. In conflict zones, movement can mean life or death. Survivors learned when to move, when to stay still, and how to move quietly and efficiently. Rushing, that just leads to mistakes. But careful movement, it reduces risk. Lesson 7. Camouflage and concealment matter. Being seen often meant danger, so individuals relied on blending into their surroundings, using terrain for cover, and, avoiding unnecessary exposure. This wasn't just about clothing, it was about behavior, positioning and timing. The goal was simple. Don't stand out. Lesson 8. Mental strength is the deciding factor. Physical strength helps, but mental strength decides outcomes. In harsh conditions, fatigue sets in, fear increases, and morale drops. Those who survived controlled their thoughts, stayed focused, and kept moving forward. The mind determines whether you continue or quit. Lesson 9. Small mistakes become big problems. In normal life, small mistakes can be corrected easily, but in survival situations they can escalate quickly. Examples include poor planning, ignoring warning signs, and taking shortcuts. Survivors paid attention to details because they understood that small errors compound under pressure. Lesson 10. Resourcefulness is critical. You know, in many historical situations, supplies ran out. Those who survived learned to use what they had, improvise tools, and find alternative solutions. It's fascinating how resourcefulness turns limitations into possibilities. Lesson 11. Stay physically capable. Endurance and strength were essential. Survivors needed to walk long distances, carry equipment, and handle physical strain. It's clear that physical weakness reduces options, while fitness increases survival chances. Lesson 12. Control fear. Fear is natural, but uncontrolled fear leads to panic. In historical conflicts, panic caused poor decisions, loss of control, and increased risk. Those who managed fear stayed calm, thought clearly, and acted effectively. Lesson 13. Routine creates stability. Even in chaotic environments, routines help maintain order. Simple routines improve efficiency, reduce confusion, and maintain discipline. Routine creates structure, and structure, well, it supports survival. Lesson 14. Know when to be aggressive and when not to. Not every situation requires action. Sometimes the best move is waiting, observing, and avoiding risk. Other times, decisive action is necessary. Survivors understood timing. They didn't act out of emotion. They acted based on conditions. Lesson 15. Information is power. Knowledge of the environment was critical. This included terrain, weather, routes, and potential risks. Those with better information, honestly, made better decisions. Lesson 16. Stay quiet and avoid attention. Noise and visibility attract danger. Survivors learn to move quietly, avoid unnecessary signals, and stay low profile. The less attention you draw, the safer you are. Lesson 17. Work with others when possible. While individual skills matter, cooperation increases survival chances. Working with others provides a shared workload, increased awareness, and mutual support. Isolation, well, it can be risky. Lesson 18. Conserve energy. Overexertion leads to fatigue, and fatigue reduces awareness, decision-making ability, and physical performance. Survivors managed their energy carefully. They worked when necessary and rested when possible. Lesson 19. Plan for the unexpected. Conditions change, and sometimes plans just fail. Unexpected situations arise when you least expect them. Survivors, well, they prepared for multiple scenarios. They always had backup options and were ready for changing conditions. Flexibility in planning is absolutely essential. Lesson 20. Persistence wins. The final lesson across all conflicts. Those who kept going survived. Not always the strongest, not always the fastest, but the most persistent. They endured hardship, continued despite difficulty, refused to give up. Persistence is the ultimate survival trait. Let's simplify the key lessons. Adapt quickly. Manage resources. Keep things simple. Stay disciplined. Stay aware. Move carefully. Blend in. Strengthen your mind. Avoid small mistakes. Be resourceful. Stay physically capable. Control fear. Maintain routines. Act with timing. Gather information. Stay quiet. Work with others. Conserve energy. Plan ahead. Never quit. These lessons have been tested under the harshest conditions, and they still apply today. Final thoughts. History doesn't just tell stories, it teaches patterns. And when it comes to survival, the patterns are clear. Men who survive are not perfect. They don't have unlimited resources. They don't always have ideal conditions, but they think clearly, adapt quickly, stay disciplined, keep going. Because survival is not about having everything. It's about using what you have effectively. If you take one lesson from this, train your mindset. Because when conditions get tough, and they will, your mindset is what determines whether you make it through. En diden nond torfan, mejan midens ti warsen burns, is gone in anin masas, ton tondis ndiv, marstams.